is Iron Dome versus Qassam. 4,369. This is the number of Qassam rockets fired at Israel between 10 to 20 May 2021. That makes 437 rockets a day fired at a country smaller than the state of New Hampshire. More than 1,500 targeted, including Israel's largest city, Tel Aviv. Between August 5th and 8th of 2022, another hail of 1,100 Qassam rockets were fired at Israel. This time, almost 400 rockets a day. Israel used its own shield, the Iron Dome, at a cost of $50 million per battery and $40,000 to $50,000 per missile. This system is one of the best air defenses in the world. But was it effective enough to stop the downpour of those cheap rockets? This is a battle between low-tech and high-tech, a battle between low-cost and high-cost. And as with any battle, it is a matter of life and death. Since the 2005 Gaza disengagement, rockets have been a favored method of attacking Israeli civilians. The Qassam rockets are locally produced, the main component being the body, which is a length of steel or aluminum piping with fins welded onto it. This is filled with rocket fuel, made by mixing fertilizer with melted sugar. The rocket is fitted with a warhead of homemade explosive and the detonator added. A Qassam rocket has no guidance system and is fired from a simple metal frame, also homemade. The biggest weigh more than 100 pounds and has a range of over 20 miles. However, even these are much smaller than the Tamir missiles intercepting them and cost just a few $100s to $1,000. They are usually fired in salvos because they are extremely inaccurate and can only be fired in the general direction of the target. Their effect is mainly on morale, forcing the targets to interrupt their lives and hide in shelters when the alert sounds. Also, Israel is relatively small, and the great majority of its population is centered across the coastline. In such circumstances, missiles and rockets are not merely weapons with a psychological effect, but rather an effective tool for causing real physical harm. The Iron Dome platform is an air and missile defense platform developed by Israel's Rafael and commissioned by the government. It is a dual mission system that provides an effective defense solution against rockets, artillery, and mortars, as well as aircraft, helicopters, unmanned aerial vehicles, and PGMs. Iron Dome batteries can detect and intercept rockets and artillery shells headed for population centers within a 43.4-mile range, using a detection system to determine if the trajectory of an enemy rocket poses a threat. They launch Tamir missiles to intercept targets, and each battery can hold 20 missiles at a time. Each battery is estimated to cost as much as $50 million, plus maintenance and manpower costs. Many estimates for the cost of Tamir interceptors are around $40,000 to $50,000, but an American Army missile budget listed each unit at around $163,000. This system is widely regarded as one of the best in the world. Estimating the scorecard is difficult, especially when not all of the figures are available. Despite over 4,360 projectiles fired at Israel, Iron Dome maintained its 90% interception rate. However, the system has a high but unknown saturation point, the maximum number of rockets it can deal with at one time. If this number is exceeded, the excess rockets will get through, and it is not a cheap system at all. Usually a single Tamir missile is launched per interception, but multiple Tamirs are launched for each interception to kill heavier rockets. This means an interception could cost more than the price of a single Tamir missile, which is already a very expensive countermeasure for a low-cost homemade projectile. The economic cost of defending against low-cost Qassams was so high that in the aftermath of the conflict, Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz formally requested $1 billion in emergency aid from the U.S. to replenish Israel's stocks of Iron Dome interceptors. So Qassam may not have the most fearsome payload, but its cost-effectiveness and volume of attack makes it a very serious opponent. To counter this, Israel has a very innovative solution to integrate into Iron Dome. The Iron Beam system, a prototype of which was unveiled last year, uses lasers to superheat and disable aerial threats. The system is most effective against short-range threats, such as rockets, mortars, drones, and anti-tank missiles. According to Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, the Iron Beam's interceptions are silent, they're invisible, and they only cost around $3.50. If you want to learn more about this laser weapon, click on the link of our Iron Beam video. It is safe to say that this war is far from over, and while Qassam may lose its economic advantage over Iron Dome, laser weaponry is a relatively new technology that has yet to be tested in real-world combat.